In today's video, I'm gonna be back in real car driving with the F82 M4, and I'll be taking this thing on the track for a challenge. So the challenge rules are pretty much we can't crash this thing and we can't spin it out. Sounds pretty easy, but we'll just have to see. But with that being said, let's launch this thing in 3, 2, 1, blast off. Now this thing is fully rear-wheel drive, so it's going to be a lot more challenging than some of the other cars I've taken on the track before, because most of them were all-wheel drive, or most of them that I can remember right now. Yeah, most of them were all-wheel drive, so they didn't really, or they did have some advantage. But a rear-wheel drive car is going to be a lot more prone to oversteer, so I'm going to be very careful. But I did make some changes, suspension and stuff like that, so I'm hoping they do make some improvement. But I think this thing should be able to beat the challenge. I'm betting on it. I'm not going to bet against it, but I want to know you guys' opinion as well. Do you think it's going to make it? Do you think it's going to fail? You can let me know in the comments, or you can just keep it to yourself and see if you're right or wrong at the end. But I think this thing should be able to do it, because so far it's handling a lot better than I thought it would. It's not giving me any crazy oversteer. I'm gonna add yet to that sentence, because I don't want to say it and then it happens. So I'm gonna say it's not giving me any major oversteer yet. But I did have this thing as a drift car before, so I did like have drifters and a drift setup on it. But I did change that, of course. I'm not gonna try to attempt this challenge with a drift car just yet, unless you guys like start adding comments saying you want to see me do that. Then I definitely would, but not yet. That's gonna be super crazy, but I'll definitely be up for that challenge if you guys want it. But so far this thing is doing well, and it's not sliding. As I said, I did have this thing as a drift car, so I'm expecting it to start sliding out on me at times, but it's not doing that, which is a good thing. Very, very good thing, because if it was, we'd be having some major issues, or we have to be doing some major work to keep this thing from not crashing or spin out. But it's handling pretty well, and I like it. If it keeps up just like this, we should be able to make it to the end without having any crashes. It's gonna be very good, because that means that this thing passed the challenge successfully, and so far it's looking like it's gonna do that. As long as we do what we're supposed to do, we should be good. And it's taking the turns very nice. Like, I see a little oversteer there, but it's nothing major. I mean, that's just a little power slide, I would say. I'm not gonna call that oversteer, because it's very controllable and easy to like correct. I mean, the only way to crash from that is if you don't have any idea on what you're doing, because that's just a little power slide there. It's not gonna make you crash that easy. As long as you don't do anything stupid like jam on the brakes or try to swing the car in the opposite direction, you should be good. But as I said, this thing is doing super well. It's not okay, to be honest. I was expecting this thing to be very slidey and all over the place, but it's very controllable, and like it takes these turns like they're nothing. As long as we slow down on time and don't do anything stupid before we hit the apex of the turn, we're pretty much good. That's all there is to it. And the reason why I say I thought this thing was going to be all over the place, as I said, it's rear-wheel drive, and usually, you know, most rear-wheel drive cars that are powerful are very prone to oversteer. I mean, it happens like almost all the time, or like the minute you hit the gas. And like on this track, it's very crazy, and some of the turns are not very friendly, and they're very unforgiving. So I was expecting a lot of oversteer, but so far it's doing very well. Because most players that I've seen drive on this track with a rear-wheel drive car, and this car specifically, it was this car specifically, they had some major wrecks. I think I even let a random player drive this car, and they crashed like every turn. Like I was like, how are you this bad at the game? It's not even funny. And it wasn't in drift setup at that time, but at that time you didn't really have some of the tuning options that you have now. Like you couldn't change the suspension alignment and stuff like that. I don't know which word I said first. That didn't even sound like a word. So like I just twisted my tongue. Whoa. See them, I almost got some major oversteer, but as soon as we came off the gas, we just pretty much corrected it. It's as simple as that. Sometimes you can stay on the gas, sometimes it's better to just ease off. Especially if you're not trying to crash or like spin out. It's definitely better to ease off. But this thing is doing very well. Just handling so smooth. The setup that I have on this thing, I think it's gonna be one of the best. Or it's definitely one of the best in my opinion. Knowing how this thing used to handle before, and talking before I even changed it to like try to be a drift car, it handles super rough. And when I say rough, I mean it was very hard to control at times. It's not the worst, but it can be tricky, especially if you're trying to power slide and drift it. And this thing was actually a very good drift car, because I did drive it a few times in the drift mode. Like I usually drift at the spawn around the little roundabout thing, and it was very good at it. So this thing is definitely a good drift car, and it's definitely a good track car. I don't know what, I think you can like hit ramps and stuff like that and get air time, but I don't even think I ever tried that. I feel like my game is lagging a bit. Okay, it's back to normal, good. Whenever I reach a certain part of the map, I feel like my game always tends to lag. And it's always close to the end, like whenever I'm around here or a little bit back up the map, the game always starts to move laggy. I don't know why, if it's like a specific part of the map or it has to be a specific part of the map, because I was driving for so long without any lag, but when I reach that part it always starts to lag. So there has to be like something there, or like a major part of the map that's starting to load back up or something, because it's a pretty big map. 20 km is pretty big, and it also depends on how much you have your graphics as well. Usually I don't try to run it that high because I don't want it to lag. The lower you have it, the smoother it's gonna be, even if you have a great PC. But I think we're pretty much halfway to the end. Well, not even half. We're pretty much past the what I would call the half point of the map. So that means I'm very close to the end. Like about 5 to 10 more turns, or double that, because there's a lot more turns. There's not that many straightaways, because like we already done about 3 turns. It's gonna be my 4th turn, if I'm not mistaken. You can't really, there's no way to keep track of how many turns are on the track. I mean, you could, but that, unless you're like a passenger and like you're counting, or like you're watching the video in slow motion and playing every turn that the car takes. While driving and trying to count every turn is not a good idea, because I feel like you're not going to be very focused there. But I'm very close to the end. I'm pretty sure that was like my 7th turn there. I'm still trying to keep track, but I'm not too focused on it. Brake there, that could have been very bad, but we're okay. Yeah, there's some bumpy parts in the map that you're gonna be careful for, especially with the rear wheel drive car. In the all-wheel drive car, if you start to spin, you can catch it back because every wheel is trying to help you catch it back. But the rear wheel, if you at the wrong angle at the wrong time, it's just it. There's no forgiving. There's nothing that the car can do to help. It's just like GG's. But I'm about 5 more turns to the end. I'm just making an assumption. I don't know for sure, I'm just saying. And I can say that this thing has passed. I'm gonna say it has passed from now. There's no way I should mess up on any of these turns, because these turns, they can be challenging, but I have enough experience to know what to expect from them. So there's no way that I should crash here. And if I do crash here, I'm gonna stop making videos in this game. I'm just kidding. But there's no way. There's just absolutely no way. Not even if my game lag, I should crash here. There we go. This car has successfully passed the challenge. I'm not gonna say this car. M4 has successfully passed the challenge. I'm very proud of it. I just realized I didn't get any third-person action while taking the turns or making the video until the end. Should have probably got some third person. Brakes are not bad, but we missed our turn off, but no problem, you can always turn off right here. Let's swing it in super wide. Make sure that we don't scratch the car. This thing is way too beautiful to be scratched. And now I'm gonna show you guys the setup real quick. But this thing handled super well. I'm gonna give it a lot of credits. It handled super well for a rear-wheel drive car. It was awesome. I think this is one of the best rear-wheel drive cars in the game. I'm gonna show you guys the setup real quick. So for the alignment, this is how I have it. I recommend I need to stop talking so fast. I recommend you guys changing everything if you want to handle like how I have it, exactly like how I have the setup, because it handled super well. I mean, you guys could see for yourself. It was taking the turns like they were nothing. That's for the camber. Redo it. Kind of got carried away a bit. For the caster, that's how I have it. For the toe, I only changed the rear toe a bit. I think that this definitely helped. Why am I stumbling over some of my words? I definitely recommend you guys changing the toe a bit. For the suspension, this is how I have it. The rear, the damping, front, no, that's the rear damping, and that's the front. Height offset, I lowered this thing because these things look super awesome lowered. The rear, wheel offset. The height offset and the wheel offset is optional. I don't think they really add that much effect to the handling that's gonna make the car like super bad or super good. They're just there to make it look a little better, but not even a little. I mean, it add a lot of looks to it, because imagine if the car looked like this. What the hell? If I saw a person driving the car and look like this, I would be like, bro, banned from the game instantly. There's no way someone should have a car set like that, unless it's an off-roader. I mean, if it's off-roader, I can't really complain or say anything bad about it. For the gearbox, is how I have it. Gearbox don't really change the handling or add to the handling or anything like that, but if you want to set it up like mine, you can. You can slow it down or pause the video, of course. For the differential, this is how I have it. For the drive, well, there's nothing to show. As you guys can see, it's rear-wheel drive. I had it in rear-wheel drive. I didn't even buy the all-wheel drive yet, so I was not joking when I said this thing was rear-wheel drive. It's fully rear-wheel drive, and I have the race tires equipped. The drift tires are decent. You can make the car slide a lot if you want, but I mean, this thing is also a good drift car. I'm not gonna lie. As I said before, I did have this thing set up as a drift car, and this thing was super well. It's very easy to control. It's not going to be like a drift car that's super hard to control, which is one that you don't want. It's very good on the grip, and it's very good on the slidiness. It has the perfect balance of slidiness and grip. And that's the car that you really want to look for when you're looking for a drift car. And this thing fits the description. Is that rain? Fits the description very well. I think it's raining. I also forgot this game had rain. I haven't played while it was raining a very long time. I'm gonna probably do a rain video as well. I did the night. I'm gonna do a rain video, or maybe a night rain video. That's probably gonna be my next video, but I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you found it helpful.